Now are you ready to take that leap of faith? To keep us from awakening to the hidden nature and inner workings of this reality, the designers of this realm installed filters and superimposed them over our innate senses of feeling and intuition. This way, they can hide from us the true underworkings or nature of this construct. These veils were put in place to keep anyone from waking up to how this reality works. The brave spirits who question their teachers, leaders, and priests on the nature of this realm will always be met with ridicule, mockery, and laughter. In order to free ourselves from the superimposed mental prison, we must first acknowledge that we are confined to a mental prison in the first place. Not a prison of solid walls and concrete floors. No, this is a prison of invisible barriers and emotional barricades that most times we do not know exist. One thing I know for sure is that no prisoner will ever plot an escape if they never come to realize they are being held against their will. Many of the New Age metaphysical or philosophical theorists proclaim that we all agreed to come down to the physical realm so that we could experience the full range of emotions, good and bad. Some say we unknowingly signed a soul contract, while others say we made the decision out of pure free will and curiosity. Either way, it does not erase the fact that since we have entered this experiment, we have been subjected to constant deception, abuse, torture, and waste. We now find the world in constant pain and suffering. Hopefully, after experiencing this horrible experience, lessons on how to love will be learned so that this will never happen again. When one comes to know oneself from the inside out, the external definitions of what society considers sufficient lose their grip over your beingness. Our awareness of self does not require validation from external gods or people in illusory positions of status and power. For the awakened ones, now is the time for all of us to initiate the process of regathering of all of our spirit, soul particles that have been fragmented and scattered throughout this fractal realm of amnesia and self-forgetfulness within the matrix of the mind. In this realm, everything is energy, including the ego, which means the ego requires a constant supply of attention, energy, to remain constant. The amount of energy it requires depends on how much you are willing to feed it, because the ego is very adept at disguising itself, and this is how it can make one feel they are genuinely on a spiritual mission. But being spiritual does not make you better than others. Spirituality means you are able to place yourself in other people's shoes, and you see yourself in all life. In order for beings to have access to multiple dimensions and the ability to interact with multiple realms, there would have to be an underlying essence of implicate wholeness as the substrate of experience, or better yet, a medium of exchange. Just because we are interconnected fundamentally, this does not mean we should try and become one with everything and lose our uniqueness in exchange. Some awareness units of the Creator chose to become blind and sever their connection to the infinite. So through free will, they somehow dreamed into existence an inverted, perverted world divided from its true home. Knowing we are participants in a world built and maintained through our own ignorance, in order to see through this circus show, we must nurture the ability of discernment. Discernment is the ability to scrutinize incoming information without prematurely choosing a preferred or expected outcome. Not everyone is ready to face the harsh reality of our current existence, because it is much easier to hide our heads in the sand and act as if the world is not burning down right in front of us. The ego only acts like it wants to accept the spiritual path on the surface, but deep down inside it knows that this spiritual awakening will erase its false status as king of our experiences. The veil of ignorance surrounding the essence of who and what you are has been used by many tricksters that seek to convince you that suffering, struggling, and pain are what brings out the best in you. What they did not tell you is, in a free world, you can create a game in which the running themes are based around self-control, cooperation, freedom of expression, and just being yourself. And if you want to throw a little friendly competition in there, that's fine. Because the games will be centered around raw experience and enjoyment, as opposed to winning at all costs. In this version of reality, everybody is fighting to secure the top spot, driven by the insatiable thirst for fame, power, and childish bragging rights. When we look at the world, we see massive technological progress. But rarely is there any spiritual progress. If we were truly advancing spiritually, mental health cases would not be on the rise. We tell ourselves lies to shield us from the harsh reality, which is we are living in a Hunger Games-based society. In this world, having money and financial stability are the hallmarks of success. That's why everyone is fighting to survive one more day. This competitive mindset is not focused on cooperation nor community, unless it can gain some type of advantage to solidify its position. Driven by the needs of the body to maintain its existence, we will fight, kill, steal, and destroy any sentient life forms in our path. Our life comes at the expense of another, and this one fact is a major sign that indicates just how this distorted system functions. We seek comfort, security, stability at all costs, and no price is too steep to obtain that safety net. But unfortunately, all nets have holes in them, just like the lies we tell ourselves. The earth has been turned into a war zone where all life must compete, into a duel for survival. These opposition-based systems were installed or coded into the game of life before you arrived here. Then once you arrive, society programs you with the ever-fleeting pursuit of happiness. No one wants to leave their comfort zone, and not many dare to question the preordained script that they have been blindly following. It is difficult to shatter prior beliefs once you have accepted that version of reality. There is nothing new under the sun. And all information being revealed was there from the beginning of this perverted vision that created this temporal matrix of death and destruction, masquerading as life. Some would say you can't have life without death. My reply would be, life produces life, not death. How much longer do you think we will be able to prop up this artificial reality before it's collapsed from the weight of its own ignorance? The truth will set you free, but no one said it would be a painless transition while becoming unshackled from the web of lies and deception. This is why most of us are now stuck on the web. Social media consumption, the constant scrolling of debased content, the non-stop stream of information being downloaded into our beingness, and the seeking of external validations, subscribers, followers, and likes. Death and time are synonymous with stress and pain. They have absolutely nothing to do with life, spirit, love, because death and time are in direct opposition to these eternal aspects of our true being. The mind thinks, the heart knows. The mind cannot exist without the infinite spirit that pours its love and wisdom into all of creation without asking for anything in return. It just gives and gives and gives. Death can never create life. Life can only create life. The entire realm of ignorance is being dismantled as we speak. This may not seem that obvious to most people, and that is understandable. Just look around. But just remember, it only takes one spark to start a fire.